Good morning, everyone. That's the time that we can wait for the others to join. So we're gonna start. Thanks a lot for your cameras on. Remember, on that depends your attendance. I have checked already some of you as you enter, but based on your camera on, I'm gonna confirm that. Yep, let me share with you my screen. We are going to retake obviously from the last week. Last week we finished on unit 8A. Yep. With writing activity, the one that I checked today in the morning. So we finished on 8A, a student book, what we got on the platform. For today, we're gonna work on the workbook. We're gonna have some flip, we're gonna watch videos, and obviously we passed to 8B. Yep. We passed to AB. Let me admit to other classmates, and then we are ready to start. Yep. So I wanna start checking on Altisha. Today I'm gonna give you also some time of the class to work on Altisha as well. What we get is the following. Remember, the 2 points depend on the level of completion. What it means, let's take a look. An example, we got, well, this one by the attendance, right? By the list, sorry. We got Asuncion Maybelline, 8 hours. So when I click here on report, then we get this. The percentage is 44. So obviously we have until the end of the class, the course, right? We are in the 5th week. So for the moment, 44% of the 2 points. I continue like that. Miss Bruke, almost 8 hours, right? 7 hours, 59 minutes. If I check on the report, 21%. Also, is important this. You have different kinds of activities, vocabulary, general and specific. You got grammar, you got the others. So there we have. Let's continue with Ms. Calderon. And then we go an 84%. Yep, 84%. Remember that based on the level of completion is that you're gonna obtain your 2 points. Yeah. So be careful on that. Begin to work on the activities, because imagine Manuel Ortega enters to the platform, but just stay there, because I believe that it's only for the time. Yep. So what I got is that Manuel Ortega 20 hours, but the level of completion 1%. So that is the percentage of the 2 points that you're going to obtain. Yep. Another example, for example, just to follow up, Mr. Cueva, 19%. Mr. Espinosa, 5%. Mr. Fierro, Miss Fierro, so sorry, Miss Fierro, 58%. Mr. Guillen. So there you see, those are the percentages. Every single class from now on, I'm gonna show to you your percentages so we are clear. And obviously, a couple weeks before we end, this is our 5th week. So literally level activities on week 6, we are going to check them all. We have here 100%. Yeah. Or it was for Miss Macias, I think. For Miss Macias. So Miss Macias got the 2 points so far. Yeah. Mr. Moreira got 5%. Miss Palacios 60. Mr. Sotomayor 21. and Miss Vélez 21. Yep. So once again, be careful on that. Always keep that in mind. Yep. Today, according to the instructions that we have received, I'm gonna give you some time to work on it. Okay. Last week we worked obviously, and we finished activity or all the activities of Unit 8A. What we refer to that activities were related, or they refer specifically to the following. Yep, we worked on the report of speech. Actually, you helped me out with some activities. We got the grammar. Remember that report of speech, the idea of repeating someone else's words. We were seeing all the changes on the tenses. On vocabulary, we work on shopping. You also work on some activities on the drive, for example, making the difference between some similar terms, chemist and pharmacy, outlet store, department store, shopping center, shopping mall, library, bookshop. You help me out on that. Then we got some reading activity related to the king of complainers, a person that basically complains about, well, every time that he did not receive a good service. And based on that part of the complaints, we get even to the, before I go to the pronunciation, we get even to the last activity that we worked on, that was this one. You wrote a letter of complaint. Obviously, you write it from your viewpoint. I just make some observations to some of you, but in general was okay. Of course, we know, like a letter of complaint, there is a problem with a product or service you receive, and then you're making, right, a feedback to the company. You want some kind of compensation, depending on how big is the problem. Also, during this, along this unit 8A, we get the differences on the pronunciation when we have a combination of the letters or the vowels, AI. Yep. And this combination of vowels, according to what we observe, to what we practice, we get the three options. A, like train, E, like chair, yes, or computer, like that sound at the end, computer. Okay, so that's what we observe on it. Also, as part of the vocabulary, we were having these word formation. Yeah, so we were making from a verb, from a noun, we were making adjectives, adverbs. That's what we refer to. Yeah. Today we are going to start on a pair work based on the workbook, the unit that we finished last week, 8A, but now we are going to work on the workbook as usual. You can transform this document to Word. You can work on PDF. You can create another document and put only the answers. That is clear. So these, this one you're gonna find it on the drive. I'm gonna conform the, let me see the number of students I get. I'm gonna conform the pairs. There's gonna be one group of 3 students, but mostly pairs. So vocabulary about the shopping, activity 1. Yep. Number 2, grammar, that is reported speech. To circle, the instruction here is circle the correct answer, tick if both are correct. Yep, so we have that option that both of the choices presented in here are acceptable, so you're gonna tick on that one, right? Tick on that sentence. We continue. That is grammar. Then we go reading, read at the article once and match the headings with the paragraph. Yeah, that is activity A. Here you have the article. In this article, they refer to top tips for safe online shopping. So we got currently 9 out of 10 people in the UK shop online at least once a month. Experts predict that our spending on the internet over the next 5 years will grow by 129%. Read on to find out how you can protect yourself when you're shopping online. So, tips about protection when we are having this kind of online shopping, right? And all those tips, we're gonna relate them. We're gonna relate them to these ones. Yep, to the headings from A to F. There is one that we already use, is the one that you got it crossed out. That is E. Always use a credit card. Yep, and that one is number 1. Okay, so there you have the reading activity. Let's see what else you got on here. In this one, the pronunciation, circle the word that is pronounced differently. I want you to, well, the words are normal, right? I mean, there is not a word that I don't think that is not familiar for you. So number 1, bargain, mountain, trainers. So they circle the one that is different. All of them contain the combination that we covered in the unit, the combination of the vowels AI. Number 2, certain, complain, rain. So like that. So this one, the pronunciation, we can do it. You have listen and check, but that one is for later. Yeah, but we can work on that one. Then you have activity number 5, that is listening. Obviously, that one, we don't have to work on those, right? Number 5. And that is the activity that we're gonna start on with. As a reminder, I already put it on WhatsApp, on our WhatsApp group, but as a reminder, please, tomorrow, obviously, due to our election day, we do not have classes, right? So this is our unique class of this weekend. But tomorrow, we're not attending. Yeah, we're not attending the class since we have this election day. Okay, just in case. So today we're gonna start on this work. We're gonna start on 8A workbook. Where we find it? We find it on the drive. Remember the drive folder when you get all your activities, and the document is in the first folder, documents, number 1. And there you find 8A WB, 8A workbook. Yep, that one you download it, you can transform it to workbook. Remember to put the activities in your folder. Yep. If by the end of the classes, when I begin to check your activities, if they are not there, it's a 0. So be careful on that. I'm going to conform the groups in Zoom. You're gonna work on it, and then we're coming back to here. Now, obviously, as always, we worked. Any doubt, any problems, call me out, and I'm going to be part of your team. Yep, just to find it out what's going on. Okay. Questions about our first activity? That silence means that I gave the best explanation ever. Perfect. So I'm gonna start on the teams. Yep. Let me just set. I am setting the rooms. I create them now. Remember, any problem, any doubts, call me out so I can enter. Let's see how much time we take. Originally, we're gonna have a half an hour, but depends on how we advance, right? Depends on how we move on. Okay, so I'm starting the rooms now. Please check and accept the invitation. Check the group section and accept the invitation, please. Go to your teams to start working on it. Thank you to the ones that are accepting. Please, the others, Christopher Edmundo, check the group section and accept the invitation, please. Okay, we are all back to the main room. Remember to upload the activity, the file that you just worked on, workbook 8A on your drive folder. Yep, that is the one that I checked for your activities. Those are also part, obviously, of your final qualification. We're gonna continue. We're gonna get to the activity of the unit 8B and its activities. This is like a big layout of what we are going to cover. What we have for this unit in the grammar is gerunds and infinitives. Vocabulary is related to work. And in the pronunciation, we're going to take a look at the word stress. Yep, that's what we are going to refer to. So on the platform for you must be visible 8B. Yep, that's the one we're gonna start on today. The first section we're gonna work on is related to vocabulary. What vocabulary they refer to? The following. Yep. The vocabulary, like I told you, related to work in general. Let's take a look at what vocabulary they refer to is in here. Here you have an outlook of what the vocabulary activities may refer to. First, you have some sentences, some phrases, some words that they are used in the context of you have an interview for a job, you're looking for a job, you're applying. So then you're going to use some of them. You have, for example, applied for. Yep. Applied for. You get resigned. You get retired. You got promoted. Like the ones that are different. Okay. So in here, for example, get promoted is that you're advancing on position in the company, right? To a bigger, to a more important position. Also, if you resign, yeah, you don't want to work anymore. So you say bye-bye to that job, you resign. Retired is when, for example, in Ecuador, when you get to 65 years old, you retired. Yep. Those as examples from the verbs phrases. Then related well to, again, this process of the word building, that they give you some verbs, and then what you construct, what you find out is the noun. So for example, promote, promotion. Yep. That one. What else we got? So and one clarification on the difference between what is a job and work. Yep, I'm looking for work, I'm looking for a job. So in there, like just, well, they take it in this first part, like work obviously is uncountable. No plural, and then job is the countable one. So there are several jobs, there are several works, impossible. Work, no plural. Yep. So then we have the difference. In this case, when you're using it as a noun, right? So I'm looking for work, but I cannot go under like I'm looking for a work. No, I'm looking for a job in that case. Yep. Once again, in the sense of using these two words as nouns. With that, let me go back to the platform and let's start. Yep, let me write it down to have the record of the activities. So we start on activity or the set number 1 related to vocabulary. And what we are going to have is activity 1A. Yep, look at the picture story, match sentences A to I with pictures 1 to 9. So let me take a look what we got. And let me open my attempt. Let me just change the idiom. Then you get preview. I start my attempt. And here you have it. Yep. So what we get, look at the pictures and let's see if we can match. 1, 2, 3. until 9. And for example, A, she decided to set up an online business selling birthday cakes. So that description belongs to which one according to you? Take a look at the images. Her business is doing well. Sentence B, her business is doing well. Claire is a success. She was, letter C, she was unemployed and had to look for a job. She was unemployed and had to look for a job. So based on the sentences, let's take a look, at the pictures and we match, okay? Starting now. We got 10 minutes, okay? So let's work on activity 1A. Let me take a look. Who's working and who's not yet. Remember that in the future, in the coming weeks, I'm going to close the activities, yes? So be careful on that. We are starting on activity 1A, vocabulary section, unit 8B. Okay, starting now, 10 minutes. Okay, time to move on. Let's take a look. So I go back to the main page of our platform on unit 8B. And let's take a look what we got. We are in section 1, vocabulary. We just work on activity 1A. Look at the picture, story, match the sentences. So let's continue on vocabulary bank 1A. Yep. Vocabulary bank 1A. Complete the verb phrases with a word or phrase from the list. As usual, let me open my attempt. And here we have it. Yep. So set up. Set up is to prepare, right? So let's take a look at this one. Yeah. Dan has to a lot of overtime. He has to work extra hours. So on that one, for example, I go with do. Dan has to do a lot of overtime. He has to work extra hours. Yep. Number 2, Matt, space, last week, he was given a more important job. If you receive a more important job, what is the one that is actually related to it? Which one will you use if you're receiving a more important job?
Resign.
Resign? No, that one is like when you want to quit, you go out. More important job. Which one do you think?
Got promoted.
Got promoted. Very good. So there we got number 2. Matt got promoted last week. That one, promotion, get promoted. That's like the more important job. Number 3, most nurses have to work shift, turnos, shift. Sometimes during the day, and sometimes at night. Most nurses have to work. Which one you complete with? Somebody was about to tell me, sorry.
Work.
Great. Exactly. Sometimes they work during the day and sometimes at night. That is shift, right? Turno. Number 4. A man in our department, space, yesterday. The boss told him to leave. A man in our department, and in
Resign.
this, I'm gonna help you on this one. This is the one. A man in our department was sacked. Yeah, was sacked. Yep. In this case, the meaning when you have this expression like be sacked, yeah, is to remove someone. So you are the boss, you're the manager, you're sending someone out. Yeah, a man in our department was sacked means that this person is out of job. Yep. The boss told him to leave. That is the expression, right? Was sacked. In terms of translation for us will be like está despedido. Lo despidieron. Yep. But for something bad, okay? So depends on the situation. Some occasions the companies just let people go for the economic situation, but if it's something bad, then you use this be sacked. Be, I mean, in this case is past, right? Was sacked. Yep, was sacked. There you have up to number 4. Let me give you one more. Number 5, Colin, redundant. He lost his job because the company didn't need him anymore. So in this one, was made redundant. Yeah, was made redundant. So your function is over. You don't need to, somebody else can do it. So you're not needed anymore. Yep, that's what they refer to, was made redundant. Yep. So there you have the first 5. You can complete the others. We got number 1, do. Number 2, got promoted. Number 3, work. Number 4, was sacked. And number 5, was made. Yep. There you have the first 5. I left them there for 2 seconds. So then I go to your results. And starting now, we got the 10 minutes, okay? So let's start working on Vocabulary Bank 1A, and we got 10 minutes for it. Okay, we're back after our break. Let's continue. We just finished an activity, Vocabulary Bank 1A. Let's see what else we get, shall we? We are in the section vocabulary, obviously, the first one on our unit 8A. So let's see what else we get. Let me see a second. We get to the second part, that is pronunciation. Okay, in this one, the second section, pronunciation and speaking, we get underline the stress syllables. For that, let me show you first what we get on the on our student book, just in case. Okay, in here, in this section, AV, let me see what else we got. Up to the words. Yeah, in here is similar to what you observe on the right, that is the pronunciation and speaking. We are going to underline the stress syllable in each word. Yeah, the phonetics are there to help us out. As you can see, when they mention phonetics, if you take a look, there is a little apostrophe, is similar to the symbol to the apostrophe. Yeah. What is it? The apostrophe is telling you where is the accent. So what I meant, apply. salary. You see the apostrophe at the beginning on the phonetic part next to the word. When we got the symbols, you get these apostrophe that in English, phonetically speaking, give us the idea where to put the accent. So you don't say, for example, salary, right? Or salary, no. So you the word, the pronunciation, salary. Yep. The same like in Spanish, like obviously once again is our mother tongue, is our born and raised language. So for us, it's kind of normal, the process and the pronunciation. But when you see a person from another country that is using Spanish, they have those mistakes in the pronunciation of the words. Once again, in here, they are asking us to concentrate on the part of the pronunciation and where we find the accent. The accent is for us in English is stressed. And that one, phonetically speaking, is represented by the symbol of the apostrophe, yeah, on the words. So let's take a look at our platform, what we got, what we refer to. Underline the stressed syllable in each word. Use the phonetics to help you. So I open my attempt. And here you have it. Yep. Underline the stressed syllable. So in here, for example, I select, right? I click on the part of the or syllable of the word that I consider the accent, the stress goes. Yep. So you get here, apply. So you go apply or apply. So I go for the second part. Salary, I got in here. Yep. Like that. Remember the ones that I showed to you one more time. Here you have it like the symbols for the words. Yep, the one that we got on the right. Redundant, redundant. Experience, experience. Overtime, overtime. Permanent. Yep. So according to the pronunciation that you give to the words, you're going to select the syllable that you consider carries the stress of the pronunciation. Yep. So redundant. I go for this one. Yep. Redundant. And like that, we continue. Okay. So let's work on this one. We got starting now. We got 10 minutes to work on the activity 2A, the stress syllable in each one of the words. Starting now, 10 minutes. Before we move on, let's take a look. I'm going to use Ms. Macias' attempt. And here you have, right? Once again, the instruction is underlined. What we did was to click on the syllable, selecting which part of the word we consider got the accent. Yep. So obviously in here, once we got the answer, apply, salary, redundant, experience, yeah, experience, overtime, permanent, qualifications, resign, retire, temporary. So there you have the accent. Once again, as any other language, the stress on some words, in all the words actually, it's vital for the comprehension of the language. What is the problem? What is the observation that when we make mistakes on the stress of the words? Just a picture, just imagine any foreigner that does not know Spanish for sure, or is practicing Spanish and is making these mistakes on the accent of our words. Yep. So will be the equivalent for us to mispronounce these ones. Yep. So I don't go like resign, no, resign. I don't go like retire, retire. So the accent or the stress, like they mentioned in here, we have to be extremely careful because obviously it's part of the correct pronunciation of the use of the words on the language. Yep. So this one, we're using the attempt of Ms. Macias just to check that, okay? So let's see what else we got. I go back to the main set. We just worked on pronunciation, activity 2A. Yep. And then you have these extracts for you to practice, like, do you know anybody who is applying for a job? What kind of job? Is doing a temporary job? What has a part-time job? What hours that he or she worked? Is self-employed? What does he or she do? Has been promoted recently? Yeah. What to? Was sacked from his or her job or was made redundant? Remember that the two options is when you're losing your job. What is the difference? The difference is that when we use the expression was sacked, in this case, sacked, is that you lose your job because you did something bad. Yeah. And made redundant is just that you're losing for any other reason, but not like particularly something bad. Yep. The other activity in this section of the speaking goes for think of someone you know who has a job. Prepare your answers to the questions below. What this person do? Where does he or she work? At home, in an office? What qualifications does he or she have? What hours did he or she work? Yep. Have to do overtime, get a good salary, like the job, why not? And would you like to do his or her job? Why not? So this is the activity that we're gonna work on flip. Yeah, we're gonna answer all this. So maybe you are not working. So you're gonna describe one person you know, one relative, one friend that has a job, and you're gonna answer all these questions. Yeah. So you're gonna make the question, what does he do? What does she do? That is the question for the kind of activity, right? We are asking the activity. So each one of the questions you ask, you answer. But that one, I'm gonna prepare it on flip. I'm gonna stop sharing a minute my screen, and let me prepare for you on flip the following topic. Yep. Now I put on the chat the link for it. Now the time, it's important. In this case, the time is gonna be maximum 1 minute. But once again, let me share my screen. What is exactly what I demand, what I want you to help me out with? What you get is the following. This one, well, this one is flipped. You're gonna find it like 8B, describe a job. Use all the questions of the pronunciation and speaking section and answer them. Obviously, we refer, yeah, to the following. Where is it? Where is it? Let me see. In this part, yeah, we refer to this section, okay? The one in light blue. What do, where work, what qualifications, what hours. So for your video on flip, you are going to make the question, you're going to ask the question, and you're gonna answer it. So what does obviously you know the person you're talking about, right? So what does my brother do? What does my sister do? What does Rafael do? Depends if it's your relative, if it's a friend of yours. You ask the question and you answer. All of them must be included. Yep. All of them must be included. So ask the question and answer it. That one on Flip, the video 1 minute. Yep. Now, you ask all the questions and it's less than a minute, not a problem. The real condition is that you use all of them. Okay. Questions about the activity?
No, mister.
Perfect. So once again, I just put on the chat the link for Flip. The activity that we are working is this one. Describe a job that is based on all these questions that you are going to ask and answer about someone obviously that is working. Yeah, could be maybe is one of you worked. So perfect. You use your own information. If not, your relative, your friend, anyone you know. Okay. So starting now for that 1 minute video, we got 10 minutes. Yep. Starting now, I'm going to be in silence. Any interaction, use the chat for not interrupting the recording of the videos. Okay. Okay, enough time for the videos and to upload it. Remember on Flip to do it. So we did it during the class. So don't lose points for not doing it during this time. Yep. We just worked on this activity that was your description of the working conditions, right? So what they do, where they work, the special qualifications maybe that you need for this job in particular, how much time you worked, actually if they apply or they have to go under overtime, what about the salary, if it's a good salary or not. So all those questions are the ones that you answer on your video. Okay, that's what the information that I expect to listen to and to observe on your videos. Okay, let's continue and we get to the part of the grammar on this unit. The grammar for this unit is related to the selection of two types of conjugation of the verbs. So we are going to decide, we are going to have a selection between gerunds or infinitives. But what is it? Infinitive is when the verb goes after to. So to play, to run, to go, to swim, to think, to teach. Every time that you see a verb next to, that is the form of infinitive. And the other gerund is when you have the ending ing. Yeah, swimming, teaching, listening, watching. Every time that you see that ending, the name of that structure of that conjugation is gerund. Okay. First, let's take a look in here. Basically, we are going to select when to use each one of them. Yeah, this one is related to what you have before. Could be expressions, could be prepositions, could be other verbs, could be some other words. Depending on what you get before, then we are going to use the ing or to. Yep. So in here, we have this extract. This one that I'm showing to you right now is also part of the platform. Gerunds and infinitives. Gerund, the verb plus ing, the ending ing. Yep. I'm not very good at remembering names. Katie's given up smoking. Driving at night is quite tiring. Shopping is my favorite thing to do at weekends. I hate not being on time for things. I don't mind getting up early. So we have to concentrate on two things. First, Every time they mention gerund, we need to have it clear. The verb got the end in ing. For example, in the first, remembering. But I also I need to pay attention to what is before that verb, which means every time that you have the expression good at, and you're going to use a verb after that expression, you're going to use that verb with the ended ing. Yeah, good at, remembering. Another, after the expression given up. Given up is to stop. Yep, given up. This one is conjugated, right? So give up, then you have ing. Okay, when you want to begin your sentence with a verb, like examples in number 2, when you want to begin your sentences with verb, with actions, those goes as ing. Yeah. Driving at night is quite tired. Shopping is my favorite thing. Number 3, after the negative, I hate not being. I don't mind getting. So after the negatives, we go with the verb with ing. Yeah. So then comes the explanation, of course, like we use the gerund, number 1, after prepositions and phrasal verbs. Number 2, as the subject of the sentence. And number 3, after some verbs. So here you have some of the verbs that after you're going to use the other verb with ing. So common verbs which take the gerund include, and then you have examples of them. They are not all the ones, right, that are included in the list. They are given to you some examples. The negative gerund, not the verb and ing. Yep, not being. The number 3, you have I hate not being. Yep. The other option of this grammar is the infinitive. The infinitive with to. The verb goes with to. Yep. In there, what we refer to is that my flat is very easy to find. Liam is saving money to buy a new car. My sister has never learned to drive. Try not to make a noise. Yep. So when we use it after some adjectives to express a reason or a purpose, after some verbs like want, need, or learned, and then you have the most common ones. So literally for the grammar itself, there is this part that we have to learn the 2 groups. Yeah, the ones that you have there on bold are the ones that we are going to take it different. Yeah, ones like gerund, and the others like infinitive too. Yep. So this extract is exactly the one that you're gonna find, as you can see here on your platform. Okay, there we have it. Let's take a look at a video, and then we go with our grammar exercises.
Hello lovely students, and welcome back to English with Lucy. Today I have a grammar lesson for you. We're going to conquer a mistake that I hear made all the time. Why do we say, I enjoy walking, but also I love to walk? Why can't we say, I enjoy to walk? Why do we say, I plan to come, but not I plan coming? It's all about gerunds and infinitives, and it's a tough subject, but we're going to cover everything today, and you will leave this lesson with a much better understanding and a slightly wider vocabulary. As always, there is a free PDF and exercise pack that goes with this video. If you would like to read a full summary of the lesson and take lots of extra exercises to test your understanding, then download it now by clicking on the link in the description box. You enter your name and your email address, you sign up to my mailing list, and the PDF will arrive directly in your inbox. After that, you will automatically receive all of my free weekly PDFs along with all my course offers, updates and news. Right, let's get started with the lesson. We're going to take a look at how we can change verbs into verbal nouns called gerunds and infinitives, and how we can use these grammar tools effectively. Firstly, let's talk about gerunds. What on earth is a gerund? It's not as complicated as it sounds. It's a verb that ends in ing that acts as a noun. For example, we can take the base verb walk, add ing, and it makes walking. Walking is our gerund, and if we make a sentence using this gerund, walking is our subject. Walking always puts me in a good mood. Walking, the gerund, is the subject. That's a really important rule to remember. Not every verb ending in ing is a gerund. Take a look at the progressive tenses or the continuous tenses. They use a be verb and the present participle. Like a gerund, this adds ing to a base verb. I am eating. She is talking. So how do we know if a verb ending in ing is a present participle or a gerund? Well, gerunds always act as nouns or noun phrases, never as a verb. Jenny enjoys walking. Walking is acting as the object of this sentence. What does Jenny enjoy? Walking. Take a look at these two sentences. Jenny enjoys walking. Jenny is walking right now. In the first sentence, we have walking as a gerund. Walking is the object of that sentence. What does Jenny enjoy doing? Walking. In the second sentence, Jenny is walking right now. Walking is acting as the verb or part of the verb. She is walking. Be verb plus the present participle. Okay, enough about gerunds. Let's move on to infinitives. I also said that we use infinitives to create verbal nouns. And infinitives are the simplest form of a verb. To make an infinitive, we simply place to in front of the base verb. Infinitives are sometimes called to infinitives, and this always reminds me of Buzz Lightyear. To infinitives and beyond.
To infinity and beyond!
We'll take our base verb walk, we add to, and we have our infinitive to walk. In a sentence, she expected to walk right in. Okay, we've covered the basics. Now I think it's time to look a little deeper at how we use gerunds and infinitives. Let's start by looking at how we use them in similar situations. Firstly, let's look at them as objects of a sentence. The basic form of a sentence in English is subject plus verb plus object. When a gerund comes before the main verb in a sentence, it will act as the subject of that sentence. You saw this in the example I used earlier. Walking always puts me in a good mood. Walking is the subject of that sentence. I can replace walking with a noun and the subject will still make sense. Harry Potter always puts me in a good mood. Let's have a look at a few more examples. Playing the guitar was always his favourite hobby. Baking is a great way to relieve stress. Reading helps me keep my mind sharp. If I say that my mind is sharp, it means I'm quick to think. I'm not slow, I'm sharp. Cheating will never get you anywhere in life. Now that first example is interesting. Can you see that I underlined playing and the guitar? That's because the gerund there is used as part of a noun phrase. We could make baking part of a noun phrase by saying baking a cake is a good way to relieve stress. Using gerunds as the subject of a sentence is pretty straightforward, but using to infinitives as the subject of sentences is slightly different. When we use an infinitive as the subject of a sentence, it can sound extremely formal, almost like you're writing in the style of Shakespeare. It can sound quite fancy, and if that's what you're going for, then use all of the infinitives you like. It sounds natural for me to say, singing gives me great pleasure. But if I say, to sing gives me great pleasure, it doesn't sound wrong, it just sounds really formal and posh and slightly old-fashioned. As always with English, there are exceptions, and we do use infinitives as the subject of sentences when we're giving instructions or giving directions, when we're quoting someone, or when we're giving a dictionary definition. For example, to cook properly, place the fish skin side down. Or to get there, take the bus to the high street and then cross the road. Okay, now we're getting to the good bit. This part is really going to help you make some quick fixes. We're going to talk about using gerunds or infinitives after certain verbs. Now, some verbs, some lovely verbs, allow you to use either a gerund or an infinitive after it. I'll show you some examples, but we've got way more examples in the PDF and some exercise questions, so don't forget to download that. The link is in the description box. She hates sleeping late. She hates to sleep late. Both work beautifully. We prefer eating at home. We prefer to eat at home. They started working on the project at school. They started to work on the project at school. Eat, sleep, work, these are all fine. They allow the use of both infinitives and gerunds. But you can imagine what comes next. There are some verbs that only allow gerunds to follow, and there are some verbs that only allow infinitives to follow. Let's take a look at the verbs that allow gerunds first. We have the verbs consider, deny, enjoy, imagine, and suggest. When we add gerunds to these sentences, they function as direct objects. He considered moving to Spain last year. Jack denied cheating on his test. Wendy enjoys watching movies at weekends. We imagined waking up to a beautiful sunrise. Dan suggested bringing home a rescue dog. We can also use the verb go plus a gerund when we're talking about hobbies or recreational activities like the following. Go hiking, go shopping. Going swimming, going fishing. Went sightseeing, went snorkeling. There are loads more, and these will come with practice. We can also use gerunds as the object of prepositions, meaning we use them after a preposition. Let's quickly review some common prepositions and how we can use them with gerunds. Before completing university, he already had many job offers. By getting up early, I'm ready for my morning runs. Since, I have been thinking of him non-stop since meeting him. Except, he hates all forms of creative expression except writing. Except here means apart from. Without, we decided to take a trip without planning. And after recovering from his injury, Will retired from rugby. Okay, so those were the basic functions of gerunds to get you started on your gerund journey. But let's jump into the infinitives now. Just like with gerunds, infinitives follow certain verbs. With these next sentences, the infinitives will act as the direct object of the verbs. We have agree. We agreed to never speak to each other again. Demand. They demanded to change their flight. Manage. He managed to sell his house after only 3 days on the market. Plan. She's planning to quit her job after returning from holiday. And a very common one, want. Ben wants to travel to London by train. We also use infinitives after certain verb and object combinations. The sentence pattern will be subject plus verb plus object plus infinitive. Take a look at these examples. They asked us to help with the washing up. She told him to bring home the dog food. He encouraged her to follow her dreams. We can also use infinitives after adjectives. Take a look at these examples. He was happy to include her in the new project at work. They were sad to leave the island at the end of the holiday. We are pleased to welcome you into our home. If you are still unsure on when to use a gerund or when to use an infinitive, I have a little trick that may help you, but please bear in mind, it doesn't work all the time, but it can guide you in an emergency, in the middle of an exam. In general, if the first action leads to a second action, then we use an infinitive. He wants to eat pizza for dinner. If the first action is happening at the same time as the second action, then we use a gerund. He likes eating pizza for dinner. Right, that is it for today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you feel a little more clarity.
As this video, we get the complement for the explanation that we got before from the book. Yep. With that, let's go. Let's see what we got on the activities related to the grammar itself. Once again, the grammar itself of our unit is to choose what to use, what form of the verb you're going to use, gerund or infinitive. So let's start on this. Yep. Grammar, gerunds, and infinitives complete the right job for you questionnaire by putting the verbs in the correct form. So let's take a look at the first. Let me open my attempt. And help me out on my attempt so later on you get your own. I like working or I like to work. What sounds better for you?
To work.
To work. Okay, so I follow your recommendation. So in here I go to work. I enjoy help. I enjoy to help or I enjoy helping.
Helping.
Helping, very good. So I don't mind. I don't mind. I don't mind not earning or I don't mind not to earn. Which one would you go for?
Earning.
Okay, like it's negative, right? So in here, not earning. I'm good at. After that expression, what I use, I'm good at.
Listening.
Very good. So good you go, listening. Again, right, I'm good at. So now I remember there are some phrases, there are some prepositions that I know immediately what to use. In this case, I'm good at making. Yep. The next one, risks doesn't worry me. Number 6. We got it like the subject. Number 6. So I go for, very good, go for taken. Number 7. I'm happy. What do you think? To work or working?
To work.
I'm happy to work. Okay, I'm happy to work. Number 8. I'm not afraid of large amounts of money. I'm not afraid of. After that preposition of.
Managing.
Thank you so much. Managing. I'm not afraid of managing large amounts of money. Number 9. I'm good at myself. I'm good at myself.
Present.
Good. So I'm good at expressing. Yep. That is number 9. Okay. What else we got? Number 10, I always try. I always
follow.
try. Exactly.
follow.
Very good. To follow. Number 11, it's important for me. It's important for me. What sounds better?
To be.
To be. Very good. Number 12, I enjoy. I enjoy. After enjoy,
To improvise.
okay, let's follow your recommendation. Then remember, I check my attempt, right? Before we continue. The complex calculations is not difficult for me. 13.
Doing.
There you go. Doing. 14. I enjoy.
Solving.
Solving.
Okay, so here's solving. And then my question is that, right? In enjoy, you put here solving, but in enjoy, I put here to improvise. Careful on that. I'm gonna check my attempt, right? Before you check yours. 15, I find it easy. I find it easy.
Understanding.
I found it easy in understanding. And the last one, I am able. Okay. Thank you to the ones that, as usual, help me out during the activities. Of course, those are the ones that get the second attempts, right? Let's check my attempt and let's see what we get. Okay, we got it. Submit all and finish, and let's take a look. There you have it. Take a look at my attempt. So after enjoy, they are using for the answers. In this case, they are using the verb with ing. So in number 12, I enjoy improvising. Yep. And in number 15, I find it easy from the grammar viewpoint. From the grammar viewpoint, I find it easy to understand. Infinitive. After that expression, I find it easy. Yep. There you have my attempt. So let's start on yours. Okay. 5 seconds more. My attempt in there. And now let's take a look at yours. This is activity 3A in the section of the grammar. So let me check your results now. For attempts, remember the magic number is 11 today. So let's start on this one. Yep, we're starting now, 10 minutes. Okay, excellent. Thanks a lot to the students that are working on the activities as we develop the class. Let's continue on it, shall we? So going back to the platform. And let's take a look. So on 8B, section of the grammar, section 3. We just work on activity 3A, complete the right job for you questionnaire. And now let's go to 3D. Complete the rules with the gerund or 2 plus infinitive. Okay, so let me take a look at my attempt. And there we have it. here, obviously, it's a summary. It's a laid out of the rules, yeah, that we get for the selection of one of the two, gerund or infinitive. Okay, so let's take a look at it. After some verbs, example, enjoy, don't mind, we use which option, gerund or infinitive? Remember the exercise we just worked on. After
The gerund.
enjoy, exactly, the gerund. Yeah, remember the exercise we just worked on, enjoy. After enjoy, the next verb ended up on ing. Yeah, that is the gerund. After some verbs like would like, we use
To plus infinitive.
perfect, to plus infinitive. Number 3, after adjectives, we use
The gerund.
the gerund, okay? I put the gerund. After prepositions, we use the gerund. And 5, as the subject, what we use as the subject of a phrase or sentence, what we use. Normally, what is the one we use? Okay, take a look. I follow your recommendations. Let me check my attempt. Take that one into consideration. So let's take a look. We got only one to correct. What is it? After adjectives, we are going to use infinitive. After adjectives. Yep, only adjective. Okay, so there you have number 1, gerund, number 2, infinitive, and the rest from 3 to 5, gerund. Yep, so the only one infinitive, number 2. There you get my results for 2 seconds, and then I pass to your results. Yep, number 1, gerund, number 2, infinitive, number 3, infinitive, 4 and 5, gerund. There we have it, right? Those are the right answers. Gerund, infinitive, infinitive, gerund, gerund. Okay. With that, I go to your results starting now. We got perfect. We got already a couple of attempts already finished and 8 attempts going on. Try to work the 11 students that I got in the meeting, try to work on the activities, yes, to take advantage of the time. With that, let's wait a couple of minutes. This one has been really easy and fast, but still we got the 10 minutes, right? So let's wait a couple of minutes to see your results. Excellent, super fast. So let's move on. Let's see if we can finish. I think we're gonna finish grammar with no problem, but let's see how it advances. This crazy mouse. Grammar, we just work on 3A, we just work on 3D. There you have the extract, the one that we cover before we observe the video. There you have it, just in case. Now let's go to Grammar Bank 1A. Yep, Grammar Bank 1A. Let's take a look. Grammar Bank 1A. So I open my attempt to see what the activity is about, right? So give me a second, and here we go. Choose the correct form, and now you have a menu. So it's important for me to spend or spending. Number 2, apply or applying for a job can be complicated. The manager asked me, not saying or not to say. So there you have the options, right? That they are given to us. It's important for me which one you consider is the right answer. It's important for me spending or to spend. What sounds better?
To spend.
Okay, so I go for it, to spend. Number 2, apply or applying.
Applying.
Applying. Okay, applying for a job can be complicated. Number 3, the manager asked me not saying or not to say.
Not to say.
Not to say.
Not to say, very good. Then what else we get? Number 4, my boss wants me
To start.
to start. Excellent. Number 5, be careful. Be careful.
Not to ask.
Not to ask. Okay, great. So up to there, our work together. The other 5 for you. Yes. So we got number 1, we selected to spend. Number 2, applying. Number 3, not to say. Number 4, to start. Number 5, not to ask. And the others for you. Okay. There you have my attempt for a second. And then I go to your results. Remember, we are working on activity Grammar Bank 1A. Yep. Number 1, to spend. Number 2, applying. 3, not to say. 4, to start. And 5, not to ask. Those we have. And I go to your results. So starting now, we got those 10 minutes. Yep. Okay, time to move on. Let's see if we can work one more activity. Yeah. We just finished Grammar Bank 1A. So let me take a look what else we get. Grammar Bank 1B. Let's take a look at this one. Complete with the verb from the list in the correct form. Okay. I start my attempt and let's see what we get. This is what we get, right? Not buy, commute, do, leave, lack, not make, retired, wear, not worry. But we have to use them in the right conjugation, which means that you select the verb, but at the same time, we have to use the correct conjugation. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's do a couple together. We got 9, so let's go for 5 together. Number 1, my parents are planning before they are 65. My parents are planning before they are 65. Remember that the vocabulary is related to work, right? So the people normally at 65, they stop working. So the one we're going to use for the first is
Retired.
exactly, to retire. So my parents are planning to retire before they are 65. Yeah, the plan is to stop working at that age. Number 2, Rob spends 3 hours to work and back every day. There is a verb in here that we use it when your job is way too far. That is similar to travel, but we use it in this case. Excellent. That we use it for expressing that. You go to your job, but it's distance. Yep. Rob spends 3 hours. The verb is commute. We are going to use it as gerund, right? So Rob spent 3 hours commuting to work and back every day. Number 3, Mark's wife told him about the problems he had at work.
Not to worry.
Sorry, thank you so much. Perfect, exactly that. Not to worry. Yep, not to worry. So told him not to worry about the problems he had at work. Number 4, did you remember the door? Did you remember a space, the door?
To look.
Vamos para la...
to lock. Yeah, do you remember to lock the door? There you have number 4. Number 5, in the end, I decided space the shoes because they were very expensive.
Not to buy.
Not to buy.
There you go. Not to buy. Yep, not to buy. So there you have until number 5. Not to buy. Let's continue. Number 6, the manager let us early on Fridays.
Leave.
Leave. In here, you see that we are using infinitive plus 2 or gerund, but here is an expression, right? Leave us, let us leave. Yeah, let us leave. 7, all employees must a jacket and tie for work.
Where?
Where? Here, you're finding 2 exceptions. Yeah. 8, please try any more mistakes in the report. Please try. Any more mistakes in the report. This one a little less, a little help.
Not to make.
Not to make. Perfect. You beat me for 1 second. So not to make. Exactly. And obviously the missing one, I don't mind. Right. I don't mind doing. So there we have our selection. Now let's take a look. Let's see. There we have it. So take a look at my attempt. Just in case, there you have it. Number 1, to retire it. Number 2, commuting. Number 3, not to worry. Number 4, to lock. Number 5, not to buy. 6, leave. 7, wear. 8, not to make. And 9, doing. Yep. There you have it. One more second, my attempt, obviously with your assistant on the screen. And my 10 on there. And then I go to your results. This one, grammar 1B. Yep. Grammar bank 1B. I get already 9 attempts, great. And 1 already answered and completed. So let's wait just a couple of minutes. On this one, we work together, so there should be no major inconveniences, okay? Just waiting a couple more minutes. Take a look. Yep. So up to this activity, we're gonna work today. Remember, tomorrow we don't have any class due to the election day. Be strong. I know it's terrible you're not having class on Sunday. Yep. And we'll see each other. Maria Emilia, you're smiling. That is confusing. And we'll see each other next weekend. Yep.
Okay, mister. Thank you. Bye.
Have a great week, everyone. Take care. See you next weekend.
Bye,
Thank
Misa.
you,
Mister, bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Take care, guys.